You have been lied about fat loss. You've been trying your best, doing a lot of crunches, going to the gym every single day, and following your strict diet plans, probably no carbs for a couple of days kind of stuff. And you've used a lot of different types of fat burners and fat burner kind of teas, but you haven't got results. In this video, I'm going to break it down to you about how to meet your fitness goals and at the same time, how to meet your fat loss goals. So stay tuned, and this is going to be a wake-up call for you. Let's go.
There are a lot of trainers, but then there is Praveen Nair.
Hi everyone, I'm Praveen Nair, founder of Sweat Pilates, Sweat Bootcamp, Sweat Online Training, and my story is quite interesting. Started with nothing, washing buses, but then coming to Mumbai and making it big in the fitness industry. I've trained a lot of celebs, transformed their lives, at the same time transformed a lot of other people all around the world. And I believe these videos can be really helpful for you to get that fitness goal exactly meeting at the earliest possible. So I make these videos, enjoy yourself, and please subscribe with that bell icon. Point number one, let's discuss the fat loss myth. Now, when I go to the gym or when I talk to any trainers or probably even normal people that I talk to about their fitness goals, they all have some sort of a misconception that I've been thinking that this thing is going to really work for me. And let's really understand how to fix it up. That's the most important thing of this video. Myth number one, spot reduction works. It never happens. You can't just lose a fat percentage from your hands or the face or the waistline. So if you see any models or fitness models, to be more precise, you will never see them with one part to be more lean. You'll see the whole body to be in that perfect shape. That's what, when you do the fat loss or when you become in a shape, that's what you get to see, because you'll be losing the fat percentage from everywhere and you'll have a very chiseled physique. So the most important thing is about losing the fat percentage is the thing that you need to understand. So which means that you want to reduce the waistline, and if you're doing a lot of crunches, that won't really work because that's not the biggest muscle group. Or by doing that crunches, because that's an isolation movement, you won't burn much of a calorie. You will be just trying to work that muscle groups. Of course, you're making the core stronger, or probably you're making the rectus abdominis stronger by doing the crunches. But at the end of the day, you get results when you burn calories and when you start using the fat storage that you have into the form of energy. So how do we fix it? We need to do more of compound lift based movement pattern, which means that you're using more than one joint based movements and you get to burn more calories. So generally, anybody that go to the gym or any kind of fitness routine, they spend somewhere about 45 minutes to 15 minutes in a gym. You want to make it a point that this 15 minutes is maximized by doing the appropriate exercise, and at the same time you want to make it a point that this programming that you have really takes care of all the aspects of fitness. That could be taking care of the flexibility, doing a nice warm-up, jumping into a nice routine of exercise, which keeps the heart rate up, lets you burn more calories and get you the best results. Along with it, you want to make it a point that your nutrition is in place, understanding a few principles like calorie deficit. So for example, say if in case you've been to any gym, you see almost all the people are on a heavier side in spite of putting in so much effort, so much of consistency. The reason being is that they haven't still understood the strength of the meal plan. All you need to do that, if in case you have been exercising from a couple of weeks to months, now you just need to understand the nutrition. Your body need about 3 to 4 times of good programming based exercise routines, and then the strength is in the meal plan that you do, which means that at the bottom level, no matter what, how much you exercise, how much time that you spend in the gym or any kind of exercise routine, but if your diet plan is not completely planned or it doesn't have any kind of logic, you are not going to meet your goals. Myth number two, cardio is the best when it comes to losing fat. In reality, cardio will let you certainly burn fats, but if it's programmed with an appropriate amount of resistance or weightlifting based routine, until unless that's not met, you won't be able to look great. And of course, that's one of the main important reasons that you're trying to lose fat is to look great, have a great posture, have a good strength in your joints. And that can be only met when you have an appropriate amount of resistance training in place. So if in case you've seen any bodybuilders or fitness models or those people who has great physique, they do an empty stomach based cardio routine in the morning or definitely followed with a good resistance training after a couple of hours. So you're a person who doesn't have much of a time to invest into the exercise routines. What you could do is that you can involve yourself into kind of HIIT, because in high intensity interval training based routines, you're actually using your own body weight to create intensity and create different type of movement patterns that let you burn calories, that let you utilize the muscles. Onset muscle soreness happens when you start getting the reaction of the muscles into the developing those muscle tissues into the lean and the shaped ones. At the same time, when you do a routine like HIIT or probably weight training, you have a benefit of EPOC, that stands for exercise post oxygen consumption. Myth 3 is about carbs. Okay, now I'm a big follower of keto, and I firmly believe keto is one of the best methods to get results. But if in case you're one who has been following carb diet and suddenly going off the carb diet for a couple of days to a couple of weeks will not make a huge difference. And if in case, no matter what kind of diet plan that you follow, and if you're not really understand the calorie intake and your calorie output, then this all things will not make any kind of sense to you. So you do want to make it a point that if in case you do consume carbs, that's perfect, that's okay to have it. But you want to place that carbs at the right time, at the right quantity that it can give you energy. If not, you want to make it a point that you are using a keto, which is highly fat-driven energy system to get you the energy, then that could be another option that you have. No matter what, you can follow either of the plan, but that has to be through the calorie intake or probably understanding how much calorie does those meal plans gives you. Just to break it down furthermore in detail, 1 gram of protein and carbs gets you 4 calories, wherein 1 gram of fats gives you 9 calories. So calculation is a game changer here. How do we fix it? We fix it through avoiding the sugar or very close to sugar-based food. That's when you fix this. So at the same time, when you eat which are high in sugar-based food, you'll spike the insulin very much quickly. So there is something like a glycemic index in your meals or in your food. So you want to just read through it, understand it, and then based on that, you would want to consume, if in case you consume the sugar or the fruit which is highly very close to the sugar scenarios. At the same time, do use carbs, which is highly more of a complex carb-based food items like sweet potatoes or brown rice, or something like quinoa, which has carbs, but at the same time that does provide quality of proteins. At the same time, the glycemic index stays to be in your favor. Point number 2, fat loss strategies that actually works. Here is a quick blueprint of the fat loss principles or the strategies that we use at Sweat Bootcamp, Sweat Pilates, and Sweat online training. Not only that, and this is the one that we exactly implement when we pick up any 3-month transformation with any actors. Train smart, not long. Your body needs a great workout, not the long breaks that you take. Now, if you're a powerlifter, you need a lot of break to really, because at this point in time, you're trying to live that 1 rep max or 2 rep max, but in your case, you're looking for fat loss and you're looking for a great amount of fitness into the body or into the heart, all those kind of stuffs. So what you need to do majorly is about keeping in mind that you're meeting all the parameters of fitness, and at the same time having a program which lets you get those parameters of fitness within the 45 minutes to 50 minutes of the routine. That's the time the body has good amount of energy. You can get the maximum out of that workout. So ideally programs which are like Sweat Pilates, Sweat Bootcamp, or even Sweat online program, which are dominantly about somewhere about 20 minutes to 40 minutes of routine, you can do it at your home with the resistance bands, dumbbells, or most of the time with body weight itself. We create the HIIT that provides you a high amount of muscle endurance, at the same time a strong heart. On the other hand, one of the most important dominant factor of your fitness is flexibility. Most of the people that you see in the gym, like they become like this bulky, at the same time they become so tight because now they're training too much on the muscle with resistance training, but they don't lengthen the muscles. And when those muscles are not lengthened after training, they become short muscle structures. And these muscle structures can't really create much of a force, or they don't become really functionally fit. These programs of Sweat online training, and other program that I mentioned earlier does take care of all the parameters which dominantly focus on hugely on flexibility. Time of your food, and trust me, this is one of the most important thing. If you are following intermittent fasting, that makes you feel light. At the same time, that gets you a great brain function, which means that when you're a little fasting, your brain can function really, really well. You can think better, you can get better ideas. Being said that, your plate has to be well calculated, with the macros that we spoke earlier, you do want to make it a point that you have good amount of protein, a bit of fat, then a very good amount of fiber. That comes down to be all the leaves, and then specifically in Indian-based meal plans, we have n number of options like brinjal, doodhi, spinach. All these kind of food items, so the leaves actually gets you a lot of fiber at the same time, all the micronutrients that you require. If in case you use carbohydrates, do use them as a pre or post workout, because that will help you to replenish the glycogen system. And if you're following a ketogenesis diet, you know the drill. You have seen a lot of videos from us. Now the last one is about following an intermittent fasting to really limit the insulin spike, at the same time to control the calorie intake that you're having in. So somewhere about 12 to 14 hours window would be a great option. But with the time, once you're familiar, you can jump into a 16-hour window, which would be a great window to show results, at the same time to make you feel really, really great. Watch the other video about intermittent fasting. After watching this video, that you get the complete insight about how to maximize the fat loss with the help of intermittent fasting. Walk more. Now you've seen that all the iWatches or any kind of watches that show you the step count, and trust me, that's one of the best way to really evaluate how easily you are meeting your goals. Now, for example, if you go to the gym and you're doing one set for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds, then you're taking a break for 2 minutes, you actually don't have much time to really work out. You are actually wasting a lot of time of yours spending what other people talking about other things, or probably just watching your mobile, or probably scrolling through the Instagram. That won't get you any kind of fitness benefits. Rather, making it a point that you're going to meet a 10 or 15,000 steps based on your fitness goals would be a really evaluating point to make you understand that how well you're going to get your goals, or how early you can meet your goals. Protein first. Protein has a lot of great functions in the body, and when you actually consume good amount of protein, your digestive system, or probably the body, takes more effort to digest the protein, and it lets you burn more amount of calories. You must be aware of BMR, the basal metabolic rate. All those things actually start working very, very well for you. So you do want to make it a point that your protein intake is actually very good, somewhere about 1.6 to about 1.8 or 2 grams per kg of weight. But being said, that is fully based on your fitness goal, and at this point of time, where is your stance, which means that what category of fitness or the body weight that you are in would actually define the amount of protein or amount of calorie that you should consume. Common situations that the fat loss actually gets stopped: drinking fruit juice or starting your day with fruits. And actually go to a lot of restaurants, and I end up seeing this buffet thing that you see, that they start the day actually with the fruits, but then they end up having a lot of trans fats, which means, things like how all this kind of, they end up having too much. So now what's going to happen is that the body always look into it, what can be utilized the first, that gets utilized, which is ideally the fructose, the fruits. Then on top of it, if in case you're eating anything extra, which is trans fats or which has high amount of calories, the body starts storing all those extra calories into the form of fats. And with the time, that all you know that you have gained fats or you have gained weight. And that exactly you need to understand. When you see the pictures or the videos of athletes consuming anything which is either fruits or fructose or drinks, they consume it while doing the exercise or probably post-exercise. Or in some scenario, you must have seen that people using banana as a pre-workout option or fruit is to get the potassium out of it, not to get the muscle cramps while they exert themselves into the activities. So you being a normal person, you don't need that simple carbohydrates or fructose going into the system. And when you know that you're going to consume a lot of other food items, you should ideally avoid it. So you want to be a smart eater, rather than whatever that you get to see that, you're just going to jump in and eat all of them. Eating too little can crush the metabolism, which means that you certainly want to eat right amount of food at the right time. And when you're looking for fat loss, what do you need to do that? Good amount of protein, decent amount of fats, and good amount of fiber, because certainly you know that fibers doesn't provide you much of calories, but it provides you fiber, which is nothing less but the leaf that we always keep talking about. Looking at the scale every day in and out, but at the same time not really evaluating how you're looking in the mirror, which means that you're concerned about what's the body weight is. But if in case you get concerned about the way you're looking, you'll be much more precise about what exactly that you're doing, probably your training or the thing that you're eating, and that'll get you a lot more clarity about how to really fix that up. So more than the weight, you should be looking at yourself when you wake up in the morning in the mirror and really understand that thing that I've done the last couple of days, has it got you results or not? Now, if it has got results, which means you're doing everything to the perfection. And on the other hand, if you haven't got results on the mirror, you can literally change things around it. Now, the reason I'm saying this, because you may be losing weight on the scale, for example, but if you're not changing anything on the mirror, which means that you're actually just losing the muscles instead of losing the fats. So you want to be really concerned about the way you're looking than the body weight scale. Ignoring sleeps, which in return are to be, you are increasing the cortisol levels. Now, cortisol levels, when you have high level of cortisol levels, it certainly drops the free testosterone. At the same time, you do know that people do take growth hormones. So probably the substances that can improve or increase your levels of growth hormones in order to get the fat losing structures happens more faster, which means that in return, make it a point that you do control the stress. At the same time, you have a very good regime of sleeping patterns. So you do want to sleep somewhere about 7 to 8 hours. And that's what I've always seen, that those people who sleeps for more than about 7 hours, so probably somewhere about 7 to 8 hours, has a good amount of recovery. At the same time, they have great amount of output when it comes to improvement that you see through the parameters on the papers. You see that they have this activity. After a month of doing the same activity, they have improved. And that happens when you have good amount of recovery. So make it a point that you sleep well, you do control the stress by doing meditation and those kind of activities. All right, the last point of the video, mindset. And this is the reason the most people fail and some people get to really achieve the success of fat loss or looking great throughout the entire time of the life. And this is so beautiful because I believe that people come with different mindset, different things, but at the end of the day, the one which stays sustainable is the only one who has clarity with the mindset. So you want to be certainly clarity about what you're going to achieve, and this has to be an achievable number of goals, which means that a healthy weight loss is about somewhere about 2.5 to 3 kg in a month. So you do want to bring in your measures from the point of view of that you're going to meet this much of a weight loss in the month one. Of course, as you go ahead, the weight loss, the fat loss goals becomes a little much stagnant or slowly processing towards, kind of getting the positive numbers on the scale, or as far as concerned, the way you look. So you do want to make it a point that the one is always much more achievable because you have more of subcutaneous fat or water retention that you call it as, and then dropping out to month 2, month 3 slows down a little bit, but you want to be sustainable through the consistency of the program. So stop chasing fast fixes. Now, you must have heard about GM diet and other diet plans or even intermittent fasting. What people fail is that they do it for only a couple of days and then they leave it because of n number of reasons. They say that work reasons, time nahi hai, all this kind of stuff. That's where a sustainable plan comes in action to meet the goals more faster. So when you make a plan, or probably when you see that, 2026, I'm going to be in the best shape of mind, that time is not about 2026, but it's about what programming that you're developing. If the programming has the strength, you have the exact sense that's required to develop that program, then you're going to be a winner. Because I believe firmly that it's not about the goal that you have, it's about the action that you're doing to meet the goals is going to make a difference, which means that you should only plan those things which is practically achievable. That could be to do with your workout plan, which means that that you can only fast for about 14 hours. You should stick around 14 hours of fasting. Now, you do know that you like to have about 3 or 4 meals. That where you feel happy, you should plan your 4 meals. Now, these 4 meals, how much calories is based on the goal that you have, okay? So your planning should be done in such a way that how you're going to meet the goals. At the same time, most importantly, this should be achievable. Measure your progress with your pictures, your performance, and the way you feel. Not about the weight. You may lose weight, and I end up meeting a lot of people who has lost weight, but what is the point of losing weight wherein you don't feel good, you don't have strength, you don't have energy? It's kind of pointless. So you want to make it a point that you do have the energy, you are gaining muscles, you feel good, you feel confident, your posture has got better. That's the time you actually are feeling wow. And that is exactly what you need to do. And that's what the plan is all about, right? That's the reason that you're taking a gym program, a workout program. That's the reason you're stepping into this meal plan, because it's not about weight. Weight becomes quite secondary, but your primary goal should be the way you feel At the same time, the posture that you have, there should not be pain, which means that if you're doing a lot of training and you're following a certain regime, you're losing weight, but at the end of the day, you know that your joints have become weaker, you have a broken knee and a broken spine. What's the point of having that program or probably the meal plan? So you want to make it a point that everything from the point of view of the way you feel. That's what the most important thing is. Build systems, which means that timing, allocating timings, allocating tracking points. What time are you going to work out? How much you're going to work out? How much calories has to be burned? How much steps or how many steps has to be met in that particular day? At the same time, understanding the progressions will always let you push even better, which means that you want to develop a program of analyzing your fitness goals or weight loss goals or fat loss goals within every 15 days to understand by taking a picture, to understand how much have you achieved by following that particular program, that you have scope to tweak it a little bit to meet even faster those numbers. So the fat loss is an outcome of your programming and your overall lifestyle. Fat loss is never about you showing up for a couple of days or probably not having a program, just doing random things. It's a lifestyle change, and that's the reason you see those fit people and you see them the similar manner with the same amount of fitness and same amount of fat percentage or the muscle quality for the year after year for a lot of years. So I'm sure that this video really helped you to understand the values of programming and how to meet your goals. Please subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. At the same time, raise a thumbs up and let me help you more in detail. Write sweat at the comment section and I will send across to you a complimentary ebook which tells you everything about fat loss. Alright, so I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Meanwhile, you guys take care, work hard and sweat it all out.